Recording in progress.
Hey everybody, how you all doing today? My name is John Hester, and I am a health coach and personal trainer based in Kingston, New York. And I'm so glad that you could join me here today for this month's webinar. And it's called Check Your Habits. And in this webinar, I'll be talking about how to break bad habits and how to start new ones. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Every habit starts with a, a psychological pattern called a habit loop, which consists of a three-part process that includes a trigger, the behavior itself, and the reward associated with the behavior. Habits are behaviors that we are able to do on auto mode thanks to a neurological pattern that develops in our brains after repeatedly doing the activity so many times. The first piece of forming a habit is a trigger, something we see, a time of day, or another cue that tells our brain to go into automatic mode and allow a behavior to unfold. Time, location, preceding event, emotional state, or the presence of other people can also be cues or triggers. Neuroscientists have traced our habit making behaviors to a part of the brain called the basal ganglia, which also plays a significant role in the development of emotions, memories, and pattern recognition in the world around us. Decisions, meanwhile, are made in a different part of the brain. As soon as the behavior we decide to engage in becomes automatic, the decision making part of our brain goes into a kind of sleep mode. This is why, for instance, it's easy to drive while listening to the radio or walk through a familiar building while having a conversation with someone. The second piece of forming habits involves the routine or behavior itself. What are three habits that you would like to break or create for yourself? You can write those habits down or you can share them in the comments below. I would love to hear them. And finally, the third piece of forming habits includes the reward that comes after the habit is performed. The reward helps your brain remember the habit loop to repeat in the future. Not in the habit of brushing your teeth? Well, your reward is the satisfaction of getting to stay in bed, as an example. So consider one of the habits that you've listed and think about what the reward is that you get from that habit. Breaking habits starts with identifying your triggers. Once you know what prompts you to begin the habit loop, the easier it will be to bring awareness to these behaviors and stop them from happening. When you're aware of your triggers, you can break out of auto mode and proactively change your routines and develop newer, healthier ones. Here are a couple of examples. For instance, if you're concerned about binge eating and have a tendency to eat half a package of cookies every Friday night, you can plan to simply take two cookies out of the package and and decide not to go back for more. If you're trying to get more exercise, you can practice doing 10 squats while brushing your teeth. Practice your willpower by making small, easy, pattern breaking behaviors that will add to your overall sense of empowerment. Here are a couple more examples. If you're trying to go running more, put your running shoes by your front door in plain sight. If you're trying to go to bed earlier, set a reminder on your phone to go to sleep by 10:30 for a full 7 hours. Notes, photographs, and other visuals are also helpful, so get creative. If you want to succeed in creating a new habit, you'll need to build in a reward that will make your mind remember to continue performing the habit in the first place. If you're trying to quit smoking or drinking, for example, put the money you save in a jar labeled for a vacation, a new outfit, or something else that's important to you. If you're trying to get into the habit of being more active, take pictures of yourself to send to friends and ask them to help hold you accountable. Or treat yourself to a new workout outfit, a water bottle, or a pair of shoes for every fitness goal you accomplish. Being active helps the body and the mind. The first segment of good habits will go outside the realm of running on the treadmill. But first, share with us what habits you have in place when it comes to staying active. And if you don't have any, that's okay. This is the place to get inspired. Get out of the habit of taking the elevator or escalator and opt to take the stairs instead. You only get a split second to decide whether you want to take the stairs or not. So when you see the stairs, think yes and head on up. Without thinking about it, we can get into the habit of driving around the parking lot trying to get a spot close to the entrance. But how much time and gas would you save if you just parked a little further and got some extra steps in? Sitting at a desk all day can be surprisingly exhausting and often leaves you with no energy to be active once you clock out for the day. So try these quick exercises between your 9 to 5. First one, real easy one, simply just stand up. While it isn't traditional exercise, research shows that standing is much better than sitting. Stand whenever you can and encourage standing meetings with your coworkers. This next one is called the patient printer. While you're waiting for the printer or scanner or copier, stand with your feet shoulder width apart, press into your toes, and rise up. Repeat 12 to 15 times. And if that seems a little easy, try raising one leg at a time. That particular one is quite challenging. And then finally, the third one, and this is one I'll demonstrate for you, is called the Strong Handshake. And you can do this with me if you'd like. So you're going to sit up nice and straight with your feet flat on the floor. And you're going to clasp your hands together like this. like you're giving your shake, giving yourself a handshake, and then you're gonna pull. Yep. So just pull those hands. You're gonna hold that for 10 seconds. All right. There we go. That's a really good one. I enjoy that. All right. So I encourage you. So if you're someone that sits at the desk all day, I encourage you try those exercises. And even if you're not at the desk all day, there's still excellent ones for you. All right, let's talk about housework. Housework burns calories and, of course, it's super productive. So here's the breakdown. Sweeping for 10 minutes burns 37 calories. Vacuuming for 10 minutes also burns 37 calories. Ironing for 20 minutes burns 50 calories. Mopping for 20 minutes burns 42 calories. Making beds for 10 minutes burns 23 calories. And washing dishes for 10 minutes burns 26 calories. Now, at first, at first listen, those numbers might seem little, but they do add up over time. Even little things like making your bed encourages movement and organization. And those are two habits that will certainly benefit your mental health. The thoughts we choose to engage in can be harmful and become habits that hurt us in the short term and the long run. This next segment will focus on creating habits to improve your mental state. Can't sleep because there are words left unspoken? Get into the habit of clearing things up before the end of the day so that you're not left with interrupted sleep and a rough morning ahead of you. It's easy to get into the habit of blaming others for the emotions that you're feeling. But isn't it likely that there's something else contributing to those feelings? Are you really upset with your coworker for typing too loudly, or are you in a lousy mood for another reason? Is your significant other really at fault for forgetting to wash the dishes, or are you just tired? Instead of lashing out, get into the habit of letting people know how you feel. It might make you feel better. Plus, more likely than not, when you do, they'll go a little out of their way to make things a little easier for you. For example, your friend's nail biting seems especially irritating to you today. So let them know, I didn't get any sleep tonight. I'm feeling crummy today. Just wanted to let you know ahead of time in case I come off a little grumpy. That will also enhance your communication skills. When we judge, usually we're projecting our feelings or insecurities out into the world. Next time you find yourself thinking, wow, they could stand to lose a few pounds, take the time to correct your thoughts and find something you admire about the person instead. Aren't their eyes pretty? Aren't they wearing a nice outfit? And for bonus points, compliment them out loud. This last segment is going to focus on the importance of expanding your mind and learning more. a habit that's often overlooked when we consider self empowerment or self improvement, rather. Culture and media are often intertwined into one. By taking the time to watch a movie or TV series in a different language, set in a different culture, you can broaden your perspective and enhance your knowledge while entertaining yourself. Try out a new show, then you'll be prompted with more cues from your streaming service to watch more. Pretty easy, I would say. Have you ever watched a TV series created in a different language? Tell me about it in the comment section. Love to hear about it. And also, podcasts are a super easy way to get tidbits of information without a lot of effort. Whether you have 5 minutes to spare or several hours, there's a podcast to keep you company. Listen while you fold laundry, make dinner, or run errands around town. Getting into the habit of learning new things is never a bad idea. Right? And I will leave a complete list of all the sources that I used for this presentation down in the description. And I would like to thank you all for taking time out of your busy day to join me. And I absolutely loved being able to be here with all of you today. And I hope that you learned something valuable. And I also want to add how proud I am of each of you taking the steps toward forming new healthy habits. And if you have any questions for me, feel free to email me at johnhester @livingsouljourney.com. That's JONHESTER @livingsouljourney.com. And also be sure to connect with me on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all at Living Soul Journey. So I want to thank you all for being here with me today. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you at the next webinar.